not to get weird, but do you guys have any writing moves? Like, do you light a candle? Do you turn the jazz on? Do you have a way you write?
We light something.
Oh, all right.
Do you smoke when you're writing?
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
I think it's a useful tool, like at the end of a long day, and you're like, look, let's spark this and we'll get out of here in an hour.
Yeah.
And it just unlocks a little part of the brain that you didn't have the rest of the day. Can't drink and write.
No.
Which is a shame.
I actually feel very fortunate.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
Yes.
I know people who can, and you're jealous because it seems romantic.
Yes, it's Hemingway.
You can drink and write.
I wouldn't choose to.
Yeah, stand up I could drink and write. If I was working on a script, I couldn't.
You can go out at night drinking with your mind kind of set on like let's come up with some bits and areas.
Yeah.
But like you're not writing.
I feel like we often will like go take a trip somewhere when we have like an idea, and we're just like we went to Kansas City recently, and we were just like, let's do like 4 nights there, and we'll just like bang around all day, like having beers, and like we'll talk about things, and that I find is helpful.
Shape.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tricks we do it. No, do we listen to music? Sometimes.
Not when we're writing, but like if
we approach every script as if we've never done it before. So there's usually a day or two of like, how the fuck do you write a script? And then it kind of.
It's probably like writing a new hour for us, where you're like, you feel like you're fucking just weak.
Do you guys write shit though? Like, do you actually?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. I write notes and stuff. It's starting at 0 with an hour. It just looking at an empty notebook. The most daunting thing.
The worst.
Working on Sunny was helpful because they'll send you off with an idea on Monday and be like, if you can get it to us by Friday, that'd be great.
Oh, that's huge.
It's insane, but you realize like you can do it. Sometimes you hate it. Sometimes you love it, but either way, the audience is just like, yeah, that works. Like no matter how good or bad it is, it's always fine.
Yeah.
When we did the Mick, every time they picked up like a back order of episodes, Dave and I would be like, well, there's no way to make 20 of these good. Like 3 of these have to suck.
Yeah.
And we'd like be like, all right, it can't be the last one. All right, 16, 17, 18, those will suck. We won't put in any effort. Who cares? And then those would come out and people would be like, my favorite episode.
Yeah.
How many?
It make you crazy.
The Mick was 2 seasons. How many?
We did 2, so we did like 40 episodes.
That's crazy.
A lot. Yeah, I don't think people really do that anymore.
New Girl
went away. I think for the best.
New Girl was on when we were there, and they had done a couple seasons of like 24 or 26, which is unholy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But we would beg them, like, please no more. And they'd say, like, we've never had anyone in here begging us for less money. And we're like, if we hand in 3 bad ones in a row, you're going to cancel it, and then there will be no money.
Exactly. So, well, Larry David would always famously say, like, please get canceled. I got to write 20 of these? There's no way. And I totally relate to that.
How he did that, because his name is on every one of those, too. So he did all the writing. We relied heavily on a writer's room.
Yeah.
Oh, that's huge.
How many did you guys say, like, it's just going to be us 2 writing?
At the end of the day, it's us 2 on all of them.
Wow.
On a rewrite. But, like, the machine of breaking stories is so important. And, like, you know, we had unbelievably talented writers. But what you realize is, like, it has to be in our voice or we're going to be weird about it. Like, we'll be assholes about it. We won't see it. And it's not because it's not good. It's just because we have to see it.
I think the Sunny guys were good about that too. Like they just would explain to you, like, just give us a good script that makes sense. Like we can make it funny. Like,
right.
And I think we feel the same way. It's like if you give us something that works and all the stories track and like you understand people's motivations, like it's the easiest thing to sit there and be like, let's make this 10% funnier.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten a script all the way done, you're pretty happy with it, and then as they're shooting, you're like, damn, this is not good.
Yes.
Sure. That's terrifying.
It's horrible.
Sure. You know, like, I mean, you go into a table read with, like, cocktail napkins, and you're like, we got to read this out loud.
Oh, that's brutal.
It's the worst.
Are you just feeding lines, or you just till the last minute? Like, what if you change it to this?
And at that point, there was a lot of Adderall involved, and, like, you have just, like, a kind
so
of
far, your tips are just drugs.
Yeah. It's like an assembly line of 5 people just passing like 2 pages at a time forward, and then you end with a decently funny script. But we've also had the late nights where we've looked each other in the eye and realized we've totally fucked it up, and then you just hysterically laugh for 40 minutes.
Right.
Wow.
It's like, goodbye, Hollywood.
You've seen that South Park doc where they have 12 hours to come up with some genius episode, and they just have to do it.
It's insane.
It's nice to have a deadline, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's the cool thing about TV is you get to a certain point where it's just like, it's 3 in the morning and you're like, look, man, I don't know if it's good or not, but it shoots in 4 hours.
Exactly.
So, like, this is what it is.
Yeah, and with stand-up, I know I've had this where I'm like, this is gold, holy shit, and then you do it, it bombs, and then some afterthought brain queef kills, and you're like, wow, this is a hard art form.
Because you work so hard on just being... I'm such a big basketball fan. Walt Frazier from the Knicks is always like, he's aiming his shot, you know, when a player's shooting badly, and it's like, he's thinking about it. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to trust your fucking mechanics. Yeah. Like, Mark will keep... We do it for each other. We've been writing together for so long where we just bounce bits off each other, and I'll be like, that's fucking amazing. That's so good. And then you'll be like, it bombed.
Yes.
But this works for both of us. I'll feel like, you know, sometimes you'll say the same to me, and it bombs, but Mark liked it, so I'll keep pushing.
There's something there.
Like if your friend is like, no, don't give up on that. You stick with...
We have that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, great. That's
but
important.
like you guys at least don't have to go through like a network executive class to get to the audience.
That's a nightmare.
Which is hard.
That's the death of art.